Hey, what's up everyone? David here. How is everyone doing? Today I am joined by a friend of the channel, Mr. Oziach. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Thank you for
It's
joining me.
one of those days.
It is one of those days. We've been trying to do this for how many days now? We've been at it since like Monday, and we're recording this on Friday. It's been a week of trying to record this, but
Yeah,
we're here.
it's been one of those days for about 5 days
Yeah.
straight.
You want to introduce yourself for the viewers that are listening right now, but I'm sure they all know you, but still, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am Oziach. I do scripted content on Persona, Mega 10, other random stuff, and trick people into thinking I'm a stick figure. Or I mean, I am one, but it's fine.
Fellow 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim fan as well. I want to point that out.
Mhm.
Yes, that's always a win in my book. Please buy the game next month, Nintendo Switch. Thank you.
Oh gosh, that game's going to. With this year, with how many like fantastic games are coming out, I really hope people buy that game. I feel like it's gonna flop harder than it even did initially, which is really sad.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm right there with you, which is, again, really sad because the game's good. Hell, we're about to talk about Persona, but we always need to bring up 13 Sentinel, so please buy it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Today, we're going to talk about the 25th anniversary of Persona, and as the title says, the state of the 25th anniversary of Persona. We are, how many months in? We're like, that's September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So we're 7 months in for this
my
anniversary. So we're more than halfway through. Let me just give an overview of what we got in that announcement. I definitely want to start with September. We were, was it in September that they revealed what they were going to do with the anniversary, or was it earlier?
Well, I'm trying to remember because I think it was early. Yeah, it was. I don't remember
right?
when the anniversary started. Um,
Okay, I think
Oh, God.
it was either like early September or late August that Atlas revealed that they're gonna do
No,
a celebration. It was earlier than
I
that?
think it was July.
July. Okay, so we had some great time to build to build these expectations up.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna count myself in there, but there was, after that initial reveal when Atlas said we're gonna do seven, what was it? 7 events, 7 reveals, seven something, right? There was 7 surprises.
7.
Right.
7.
7 something was planned for the 25th anniversary. And then there was a lot of content creators and a lot of Persona fans that were just dropping lists of what was going to happen. There was some people that were like, hey, Persona 1 port, Persona 2 remake, Persona 3 port, all just games all over the place. Of course,
Guys,
that was
we're getting 7 games.
right, exactly. Of course, that was never going to happen. It was from September 2021 to September 2022. So it was not going to be just games. We knew that, but we still had decent expectations. The first thing that happened was September. The first, let's call them things, right? Or events. Let's do events, right? The first event was September. And in September, it was the start of the anniversary. So a lot of people, I don't know if I should count you in there, but I certainly was looking forward to a decent reveal to start of the anniversary. At least a little something, at least a game release for the first one. I thought it would start strong and at least end strong. The middle,
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought that there was going to be 3, like 2 kind of like mildly big things and then 1 like really big thing at the very end. So I thought we'd get like 1 really notable thing at the start, like, because not to get ahead of ourselves, like we got P4AU. I thought that would be something akin to what we would get at the start.
absolutely.
And then they'd have something similar to that like in the middle and then at the end like probably P6 or something.
Right.
That's not what we got.
It is not. What we got actually is, well, for Japan, pretty good start. In Japan, they had a lot of sales on games, so physical games through retailers and also digital games for Atlas games, so like Persona 5 Strikers, Persona 5 Royal, great couple of games that were on sale in Japan only. They also got the animes available on streaming services in Japan. That's super dope.
That
was
cool.
something that we got in the West. That would be very, very cool, especially since I only watched the Persona 4 animation. I didn't watch any of the other ones,
Good show.
including the Persona 3 movies. So that
Those
would
are
have
all
been,
pretty good.
yeah, that's what I heard. So yeah, for that reason, that would have been cool for me. They also got the reveal of a concert That was to happen a couple of months after that. So decent reveal for September in terms of Japan. But for the West, I mean, we got wallpapers.
No. Digital wallpapers.
Digital wallpapers. That's what we got. The art was cool, but I mean, is it fair to say that? Is it fair to feel a little underwhelmed after this is the start of 25 anniversary that are getting celebrated? This is how they want to start with wallpapers.
So what just kind of came to me is this first announcement, again, like a lot of us thought that it was going to be kind of like that spark that ignites things to kind of like really get us amped up. In reality, I think this was meant to be sort of a tone setter, which for better or for worse, because, you know, Japan, you're getting like all of the like, they're getting that celebratory mood amped up. They're getting all these games, like you can play them now on sale, watch all the shows, listen to our music, all that stuff. It's good. It's like getting people into that mood in Japan for all the celebrations they were doing, which fits on track. And here, it also fits the tone of what we're getting because it's very muted.
Right. So that first one, okay. The thing was, once they revealed it, we were like, oh, there's 6 more. That was what everyone was saying, at least in the West. We had to wait until December for the next event, and that was a cool one. That was a good one. That was during the pre-show for the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's show in December. They revealed that Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is getting a re-release on modern platforms. The good, Switch version, PlayStation 4 version, PC version. That's good. The bad, no retail release, no rollback because they didn't confirm it at that point. And what else? That's it. That was pretty good. The big thing...
I do want to add on the rollback note. It wasn't even just that it was no rollback. They did mention like a week later or something, like a week or two later, they're like, by the way, we could have rollback if you buy our game enough, and we might add it. And people got rightfully angry.
Right. That's such an Atlas thing to say too, right? If you buy it,
they did down on that.
But we want to buy it with rollback, right? That's the product that we want.
Anytime a company does an ultimatum like that, it just like fires back into their face.
Exactly. But I definitely want to give them some credit because it's a $30 release and it includes all the DLC. Well, there's some DLC tracks that are not in the game for, I think, licensing issues, I think. Some DLC tracks are not in there. But other than that, all the content is in there. Both story modes from the first Persona 4 Arena and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, they're all in the same package, $30. So there's some negative, but in my opinion, there's more positive. Plus, they're bringing back...
That game's great.
Exactly. Good game, $30, and it's probably going to be a good version of the game. We'll hear about that in... I think right on the day that you're listening to this video, we should be playing the game. So it is certainly a good announcement, in my opinion, for December. Great. Then February. February something else.
So what I've noticed, I don't know if you noticed this fact. So when the February announcement came, it was 7 somethings that they were going to announce.
Yep.
And the moment the February announcement dropped, that 7 turned into 8.
Yes.
And whether it's, like due to, a lot of the conflict going on in the world right now with Ukraine and all that, or Atlas's own completely unrelated either incompetency or just bad timing issues, I definitely think February was not supposed to play out like this. And that they were like, let's just scoot back what we were planning until once it's ready, or like a good time to drop it.
Right.
And just to leave it as is. So in February, nothing happened for us.
Pretty much, yeah. I want to explain what happened, and then I want to add on what you said, because there's some things that I want to definitely add over what you just mentioned. So February, what happened? Well, the first thing to mention is they waited until the 28th to announce something, which... See, I didn't really care, especially since the week before February ended, they revealed Soul Hackers 2. So at that
Yeah.
point, I wasn't even thinking about the February reveal anymore. So it was fine to me. But I saw some people online that were like almost insulted that they waited to the last day. So see, that was already a strike even before they revealed what they had to reveal. But what they had to reveal clearly didn't help, because for the West, as you just mentioned, nothing. There was nothing for February. There's just straight up nothing. For Japan, well, they announced a physical festival that would take place in Sakata Town in Japan. Which, I mean, I'm sure people in Japan are happy about that. It's pretty cool. If it was something that would be close to me, I'd be all over that. That'd be really exciting. But this is where I want to talk. This is one of the big things that I want to talk about. I feel like they're marketing this anniversary, that they're talking about this anniversary like it was a worldwide thing. And looking at these 3 events that we had, I don't think this is a worldwide thing that much anymore. We're 2 announcements out of 3 that are almost exclusively for Japan. What do you think about this?
I honestly do feel like something. I don't know if they planned anything extensively more than what we're getting, but I do feel like their plans kind of have fumbled over each other and not the way they planned it. Because it literally, because we did technically get an announcement on top of that we got at least localized to us through Twitter, which was the proper announcement that we're getting Rollback in the summer for P4AU. But even then, like, that recording, it's just like, here's a message from, I think, the director.
Yep.
And he's just sitting there on his computer desk, just like, hey guys, Rollback's coming by. So, again, this dropped, I think, a couple hours before February was over in Japan. It really feels like this was just the last second scramble to get something out, because they promised they'd have something in February. And they were like, well, we can't just do the festival in Japan because the West has to get something.
Exactly. And you mentioned something very interesting before. I think there's a lot of smoke for it to be a fire somewhere, because as I mentioned, they waited until the last day of the month, and it was just that festival, and we're now at 8 events. So as you've mentioned, what if something else was planned for February, but they, for some reason, waited until the last day and they were like, hey, we have no choice. The festival's the reveal. Let's go. Let's do it. We have no other options. I feel like this could be the case. And that thing, whatever it was that was planned for February, it's now the April reveal. I think it's a possibility.
I think that's pretty likely. And we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, we could get to April and we just get another set of wallpapers.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about April, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But before we do, I want to talk about Rollback. You mentioned Rollback for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. There's another negative in there. It's, to what platforms is Rollback coming again? That's PlayStation? Is it coming to PC? I know it's not coming to Switch, but is...
Okay. It's coming to PC as well. It's not coming to Switch.
Cool.
The Switch has trouble running Rollback like that on its systems anyways.
Yeah, I was aware of that. There's some games that have it. I did my research before we recorded this video. There's some games that have it, like Mortal Kombat 11 has pretty good netcode, but that's pretty much it in terms of good netcode. Like the other games that have Rollback, like I know there's a Blaze Blue game, or Blaze Blue, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think there's one of these games that has some type of netcode that isn't too great. Other games have some netcode servers as well, but it's not great on the system, and I think it's hard to implement, as you mentioned. So that's probably the main reason why it's not coming to Switch.
Yeah,
not a big deal for me personally, because I'm not a fighting game guy myself, but still, that was what they did for February. Now I want to talk one last thing for February, and I'm gonna include myself in this one. There was some dumbasses with actual expectations that saw what happened with the site, with the Midnight Channel collection. You know what I'm talking about, right?
If you could refresh my memory.
Perfect, because that's what I wanted to do as well. Thank you. Okay. So what happened is, I think it was in January. Was it late? Yeah, I think it was late January that someone noticed that if you went on the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax website, the Western one, there was a section for pre-orders. And you could choose on which platform you would like to pre-order P4A. You could click on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and there was PC as well. If you went to PC, you had the choice between standard version of P4AU, or you could get the Midnight Channel Collection, which was just a deal. You save a little bit of money and you get both Persona 4 Golden and Persona 4 Arena at the same time. Where I'm going with this is if you went over to the PlayStation 4 version or the Nintendo Switch version, both options were there. So of course, we were like, oh, they leaked Persona 4 Golden, so they're gonna shadow drop Persona 4 Golden, and some type of Midnight Channel Collection is gonna be available at launch. They're gonna reveal that in February. That's gonna be our February reveal. And I want to say, yes, I was part of these dumbasses that thought this would happen, and it obviously didn't. But that's one of the things that, if it weren't for that, what happened with the site, the quotes leak of Persona 4 Golden being part of a Midnight Channel Collection, before that happened, I was not expecting a game reveal for February. Because we just got the reveal of P4AU and the game was coming out a month after. So that was the only thing that could have happened that would have made me think that it would be a game reveal in February.
Well, another factor to keep in mind with that is, while I understand, I definitely think people kind of gaslit themselves into this. I believe during the December announcement for P4AU, there was some message or something they said where they said, yeah, in February, more game news coming. And many people interpreted that as, oh, they're going to announce more games. It's news about games. And I'm like, no, guys. Like, I literally had to make, like, a PSA for people. I'm like, guys, like, just slow down.
Yeah.
It's game news. It's not going to be news telling you about games. It's probably news about the game we already know about. Which it was. And because half of the February announcement was just a game overview for P4AU.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're fans of that series. So of course, whenever there's a little sign, we're getting excited. I think it's normal. But I want to say that in terms of February, I'm going to talk for myself. I think the main disappointment was I rose my expectations myself, right? I was expecting something more. I
do not blame you.
Exactly. There was a lot of signs, but I got myself thinking that something bigger would happen, and it didn't, which is fine. It really is. April. April. What are we expecting? It's gonna be a month after P4AU release, and there's gonna be 13 Sentinels in that month as well. Do they want to bury the game even more with another game announcement? I'm talking about 13 Sentinels. Is that something that they want? Yes. Straight up.
Yes. I don't know if they will explicitly announce a game. I hope, but I don't know. Atlas has had a trend of subverting my expectations in like the weirdest ways at times. So I don't know what to predict. It's I feel like it'll be something smaller, smallish,
smaller
like
than P4AU.
Maybe. I don't know.
What could it be?
Maybe that's more than P4AU. Maybe like, I guess on the level of P4AU. Well,
right.
No. People would be happy about a golden port. Well, it's already been ported, so maybe smaller. I don't know.
In my opinion,
I see it being something massive.
Yeah, I 100% agree. We can at least agree on that, but I don't really know what they could do that would be smaller than P4AU personally, and that's nothing against the game. If you look at the numbers, what it did back in the day wasn't that great.
Well, you know what? No, I do have something. They could release the dancing trilogy.
Oh, that's a good point. Yep. That's a good prediction. That's definitely something that they could do that would be smaller. Bet that if that's what they do, they're gonna do the P4D thing. Like you need to buy both 3 and 5 to get 4. That's what they're gonna do if they bring them back. But see, that's one thing that I didn't think about that could happen. But if you look at last year, that's my thing. What they're doing this year is kind of what they did last year. If you think about it, there was the first thing that they had was February, which was Persona 5 Strikers. This year, that's that game in that spot is Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Obviously smaller, but same time of the year, right? Q1. And then they waited till May to give us Nocturne HD. That's 13 Sentinels for this year. And then the next thing that we got was SMT5, the big game in November. That would be Soul Hackers 2 for this year. So
I would like to give 13 Sentinels that credit. I don't know if Atlas has the same faith in the release of 13 Sentinels being ported as they did in Nocturne HD. I think I can see something else actually coming out after that that isn't like the end of year big one.
I hope so. I hope so, because I think they at least need something. Well, there's going to be at least one other game reveal for the 25th. Can we agree on that? At least one?
I, like, not to get ahead of ourselves, and I'll friggin' eat my words if it's not the case. I have literally no shadow of a doubt that we're getting a P6 announcement of some form.
And I agree. Yeah,
that's definitely gonna be probably the last thing they reveal, if not like the second to last, but probably last. Otherwise, I have no clue. I'm just along for the ride. I've just been sitting here like, because obviously you said you hyped yourself up for February.
Yep.
I've been sitting back here like sipping some water as I just watch all the new like merchandise and like new art flood in. And I'm like, yeah, can't be disappointed if this is all I'm asking for.
That's a very good point, and you're completely right? Sipping on some water, touching grass while we're all there crying because we didn't get something that we were hoping for and we were expecting. So you're totally right. You guys listening, you believe this man, not me. You do what he does, not me.
For transparency, I don't blame anyone for getting hyped up about any of this or expecting more. That's 100% valid. You do not have to be like me, sitting here with my like mix of cynicism and passivity, where I'm like, oh, P4 Arena, awesome. Ooh, look, they made like bread with Morgana's face on it. Cool.
And see, I want to go back to Persona 6 because we actually are sharing the same prediction. I think they're going to end with Persona 6. I think this was planned from the start. Royal came out early 2019. 2019, right? No, 2020. 2019 was for Japan, yeah. Late 2019 in Japan and early 2020 in the West. So they've been at work on Persona 6 for a decent amount of time now. So I think they're going to be ready by September of 2022 to at least show a small teaser. You know, I'm not expecting... to be honest, I'm not expecting the chairs again.
I doubt they're going to do chairs specifically. That would be funny. But, like...
It would be.
I do wonder if they're going to do something akin to that, where it's just, you know, a tease, or because the chair thing definitely was at a period with Atlas where they really needed to get some announcement out there to, you know, build up hype and all that, because they were completely broke.
Yep.
And just needed some form of win.
Yes, and that's.
I don't think we'll see anything extensive, but I think we'll see something more notable than just symbolism with green.
Okay, you want to hear what I think we'll see? The first Shin Megami Tensei 5 trailer. I think we're going to see something along those lines. The first one in January of 2017 when they revealed the Switch. The first teaser, that was 1 minute and like 20 seconds, something like that.
We're just going to get like a nice like CG, maybe see like a shot. Like, honestly, that's something I can think about. Like, it shows maybe the protagonist, and then like maybe in shadows we see their persona.
Yeah.
Like something like that.
Yes, exactly. I don't expect, like, of course not, no gameplay, no date, no nothing, but at least a teaser, but not like a worthless teaser like the chairs, right? I expect something a little more. That's what I'm hoping for, but it, as you mentioned,
you're not expecting winter 2024.
Oh God. I hope not. I really don't. But yeah, that's my thing. Persona 6 to end the anniversary. Even if they do something small, I think most people will be happy with that, I think. Or at least I would be, because that's a game that I'm highly looking forward to. I want to see
100%.
anything. So that would be great. Now, we kind of talked about it, but if I just go back and ask you once again, your expectations for what's left, you don't really have any, right? You're just going and looking at what they have. There's nothing that you're like, I at least need that one little thing, that one reveal to happen, or I'm mad or something. I'm sad.
Okay, because I don't know. I think I'm very content because a lot of I guess over the last few years, Persona has gotten a very big spotlight in terms of like all the games it's getting,
Certainly.
all the constant news and merchandise and like adaptation stuff like that. I'm like content. This feels like a slightly more news heavy year for Persona.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like fine. I don't need like anything crazy constantly. I get the people who expect that because it's the whole festival thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can take it or leave it. I'm fine.
Yeah, and I think the reason, again, I'm not like doing this to argue against people saying that we're building expectations ourselves and all that stuff, because you guys are right, but we're talking about the company that revealed 3 games in one concert in the past. That's something that they're able to do, and that was all Persona. So as you mentioned, I'm good. I have enough content just in terms of Atlas stuff to be happy with what I have. Soul Hackers 2 is extremely exciting to me. I'm like highly anticipating that game. So I honestly don't need anything. I just want to put this out there. I don't need anything from the Persona 25th. I'm happy with what we have. I just think that it's fair to expect a little bit more because of what they did in the past, right?
I think a good way to put it is, I'm not saying it's not fair to have expectations at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to hope, but don't push all your hopes into expectation.
Yes,
You
and don't hurt yourself.
Expect, but like, listen, I'm hoping from the bottom of my heart that, and I've been saying this for like a year straight, give me my Persona 1 remake. I need that desperately. Am I expecting it? Not really. But if we do get that, I'll like cry with tears of joy.
Mm-hmm.
But is that like gonna happen? Probably not.
That'd be cool though. That would be cool. But that's a whole other subject for another video. But there's a lot of things that they would have to do to please as many people as they can with a remake of Persona 1. That's really scary. What they could do, what they couldn't do. But if they do, that would be cool if it happens at some point. Now I do want to ask you. I want us to talk about this really quickly. If we're just assuming things we're hypothesis, right? This is an hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to drop another reveal or just another port of a game, whether it's a new game like a spin-off or something, or re-release a port, an HD remaster type of re-release, right, with added content and stuff of anything, what would you like to see? It couldn't be just a direct port. It can be a new spin-off. It can be a sequel to something that we already had, a remake, anything, but something kind of realistic that could happen during that anniversary. And when I say happen, I don't mean just reveal. Like Persona 6, we both think it's going to get revealed, but it's not going to release, of course. Now that question is for something that could release during this anniversary. If you had to pick one thing, what would it be?
I feel like a lot of people's go-to with this would either be like P4G releasing on other consoles, or P3 FES, or the people who I understand, but I have to heavily doubt, who say, yeah, no, if they release P3, it's going to be mixed with portable and it's going to have FEMC. No. But what I want, because I'm a little weirdo, and I think this would be way more interesting, give us ports of Persona Q and Persona Q2, and put them on not the 3DS in 2019, where it'll sell 5 copies.
Good point. I owned 3 copies too, so there's 2 left in the world somewhere of Q2.
Oh gosh.
No, that's a very good pick too, and to be honest, I think that's realistic, because these games, you can make them work on one screen. I don't care what anyone says. It's possible. It certainly is.
I honestly think that like the Q games would be a good bet, because again, it's a festival. They're advertising all these different Persona games.
It's a crossover.
And if they have an excuse with like, and no shame to P3, but like P4 and P5 are huge properties for advertising. If they have an excuse to have a game that has both of those in one, especially one that was left in a very sad place in its initial release, they're gonna take advantage of that because it'll sell like gangbusters. Absolutely. So I see Q1, Q2 happening.
Oh yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad you brought this up because I agree with you that I think it's certainly possible. It would do well, and it totally fits better than anything else for this anniversary, in my opinion. So I want to see it. I would really like to, especially since I never played these games, or at least not to completion. So I'm here for it if that happens. I want to talk about the two other things that you mentioned as well, P4G on consoles and Persona 3. I asked you guys to that are listening to give us some topics for this video, and most of you replied to my tweet with Persona 4 Golden consoles and Persona 3. Persona 4 Golden consoles, this is my pick. That's my personal pick. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna happen, and the main reason is it's so simple. Effort versus benefit.
Very obvious.
Low effort, high benefit, right? I think the Persona Q games, they would fit better and they would make more sense for this anniversary, but it would obviously require...
But it doesn't make as much sense with Atlas, which is Atlas we're talking about.
Yes, we shouldn't talk about common sense or logic in this video, but we're still doing it anyways. But Persona Q...
Most reasonably, it's going to be a golden port.
I mean, yes, the Persona Q games would require a little more effort, and I don't think they would do as great as just a straight port of P4G. So for that reason, I'm hoping that they understand that it wouldn't take that much effort to bring these games to consoles, at least to PlayStation. If you don't want to put it on Switch for some reason, okay, but at least on PlayStation, because we know there's no deal holding it back, right? So this one is my pick. I think it's gonna happen. I'm still pretty sure this year, now's the time. Yes, I'm a dumbass with actual expectations. Persona 3, this is something else. Persona 3, I don't think is gonna happen because I don't think they know what they want to do with it yet. Of course, as you mentioned, there's that whole debate, FES, vanilla, well, not really vanilla, but you know, FES, portable. There's some content in FES, there's some content in portable, and that's what I always say. If they are to bring back Persona 3, I think it's going to be HD FES, right? Nocturne HD style with quality of life improvements, including party control. If we're lucky, the new music from portable, that's it. That's it.
Like you said, like Persona 1 is a game that if they were to remake that, they would have to work really hard to actually please everyone in getting that done. I honestly think FES has an even, or just P3 in general, has an even worse case of that, because if they only port one version of either game, it's going to upset the fans of the other version. If they're going to combine them, they're not going to do it in the original engine, because it would be really weird to do that without... Yeah. They would have to remake it, and at that point, contrary to most people's beliefs, if they're going to start from scratch with something, it would be so much easier to advertise it as a Persona 1 Origin, like a Persona Origins game, like Persona 1 Remake, like the classic. Advertise that as a whole new title, than to go, we're specifically doing 3, the game with that people compare to Final Fantasy VII. It's the Final Fantasy VII Persona, but no, this game is niche. Stop it.
I need to put you on the spot, though. You used Origins, Final Fantasy Origins, Stranger of Paradise. I'm not too sure that was the right word to use, my dude. That game looks... Ooh, that looks really rough. You know what I'm talking about?
You don't like Stranger of Paradise?
I'm not too kind.
That game looks phenomenal.
Oh, really?
No, I'll tell you on that. I think that is one of my most hyped games of the year.
Are you serious? Wow, cool. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's cool.
Because have you played it at all? Like the beta?
I have not. I have like this, and again, I just lost all my credibility because I didn't play the demo. But I'm like, when I heard the leaks, because that game leaked, we're off subject, but it's fine. Yeah. A week before it got revealed at E3, it leaked. There's going to be an action game, Dark Souls type of thing with Final Fantasy 1. I was like, that sounds insane. And then they revealed it, and it was everything but what I had envisioned. So I was like, oh, I'm not so sure anymore. I want to make it clear, I'm going to play it 100%. But from what I'm seeing online, I really don't like what I'm seeing for the game.
Let me sell you on this real quick before we get back to Persona.
Yeah.
Let me just give you a quick sales pitch on this. So this game is a fast-paced Souls-like. Like, it's very...
It's quicker.
Like, intense. Set in the story... It's an isekai of Final Fantasy 1, but it's played very tongue-in-cheek. So like a lot of the stuff you see, like it's a very goofy looking game, but that is because they very much are taking that in stride and giving it those serious moments when it needs it.
Okay,
and
it's intentional.
Really playing it up. Like literally, again, like at the start of I think the first demo they had, the protagonist is talking to some lady, telling them to go on a quest to stop chaos, and he literally just tells her to shut up and just walks away listening to like Limp Bizkit.
Did you see that?
It's a very stupid, fun game.
There's a scene going around on Twitter right now. It's like, I think it was like there's 2 or 3 characters, and there's the main character, and he just turns around and he's like, I need to kill chaos. And it's like the person's saying, it's like, yes, this is how the main party meets or something. And I'm like, it's not. Again, I'll give it a shot. You sold me on the demo. I'll try the demo. I'll do that. Okay.
The demo right now, it's just the first couple hours of the game. It's a very stupid, dumb, fun time. But I'm really happy about it.
I'll definitely at least check out the demo. To go back on P3 though, yeah, that's my thing. It's FES with HD textures. It would look better, it would sound better, it would play better, quality of life if we're lucky, music, or as the rumors are saying, just portable.
Yeah.
I think more people would be happy with the first situation.
Alternatively, we ruin everyone's lives. We give the people portable, and then as a separate release, they get the answer. Because Atlas themselves acknowledge the answer as a spin-off now, apparently.
Yes.
So, you know how it is.
It's definitely interesting to talk about this Persona 25th anniversary. There's so much to talk about. I'm sure we could keep going for like double the time that we've been talking about this anniversary. I just want to ask 1 or 2 final things to you. If you had to grade the anniversary as of yet, what would you grade it? Like out of 10? Consider your expectations. Consider where you were at when it started, where you're at right now. Just with everything into consideration. If you had to put a number on it. Out of 10.
Getting P4 Arena is really nice, but I do think the fact that we have been waiting here for like, honestly, like
7
probably
months.
like 9 months. I think it's closer to 9 because of the actual like announcement of it.
Crazy.
It's just one game, a bunch of like miscellaneous art, and that's it. So with that said, I think I'm feeling like a 2.5, maybe 3 out of 10.
That's cool. That's exactly what I had in mind. I wrote it down. It's 3 out of 10 for me personally.
Okay.
Again, it's nothing against P4AU, and I do want to say that I believe it's going to be way higher than that once it's all said and done, because you give me the Persona 6 reveal and that's it, you're at least at a 7 out of 10 if I liked what I saw. So for that reason, it's fine. And we know that Atlas, when they do new games, they're good, right? They're always good, whether it's something small or something big. If it's a new game, it's good. Their ports, it's okay. It's hit and miss, right? But their new games, SMT5, Persona 5 Royal, like all their new games, even the spin-off Strikers, that was super good. So
and Soul Hackers is looking great.
Soul Hackers is looking really, really great despite all the controversy. So yes, I strongly believe that they're gonna end at least on a high note, and that we're all gonna be satisfied. If I had one final thing to say, just keep in mind that they're probably doing their best, and that we are creating expectations for the most part. It's something that with Atlas, and I learned this over the year, not enough apparently, but I learned this over the years. I've been a fan for years. We should never expect anything from them. Just wait and see what they have, and you're not going to be disappointed at the end of the day.
Hope, don't expect.
Yes,
at least
exactly.
Not much.
And as you said before, just it's fine to expect things at times, and it's normal. We're not going against anyone with expectations. I'm with you all, to be honest. But yeah, don't hurt yourself. Just hope for good things. Don't expect anything.
I will say though, if Persona 6 is in no way revealed during this, Atlas, what is wrong with you?
That's gonna hurt. Yeah. Ooh, at least if it's not revealed, you need something big. If it's not revealed, they at least
I think
need a
that would be
remake
the
of some
actual
kind.
like. I think that'll be the actual, like, 1 out of 10, maybe, like, 2. I guess we did get P4AU.
If they just don't do it, we're probably gonna forget the enthusiasm that we have for smaller things like P4AU and stuff, and I don't want that. And I still believe that there's potential. We will both be looking forward to what they have in store for us next. My big complaint isn't the lack of reveal, it's just the fact that I think they should have been more clear in regards to, is it an international celebration? Is it mostly Japan and sometimes the West will get something? I think they should have been a little more clear. It's fine. It's not something that they do every year, so I'm not just complaining. I'm just, dropping my thoughts, and I that's my big issue. I think they're struggling with communication at times. They need to communicate a little more with their fans, especially in the West. I think they should be more clear. That's my issue. My main issue.
Atlas they're very much taking baby steps to make their Western presence more vocal. And I appreciate that. They're making more progress. We're getting more worldwide releases. We're getting, like, just constant things being brought over. I appreciate that.
Yep.
It's just, hopefully sooner than later, they reach a point where, like, I understand Japan getting the bulk of focus and kind of, like, special stuff, but at least some level of equal preference. Something close.
Yes, that, or be clear, right? Just,
yeah.
You know what they could have done for this anniversary, just to close things out, right? I think what they had on the site in Japan, if you go to the Persona 25th site in Japan, they have all these little markers with interrogation marks, like April 2022, and you don't know what's going to happen. That's the next reveal. They should have had this same thing with all the 7 reveals that are now 8 reveals. It should be the same thing on the Western side, but with the number of reveals that we are going to get. With all the months already. That way you have 7 or 8 things in Japan and you have 3 in the West from start. So that way we know exactly what to expect. But in the West, we just have one little square and we don't know what's going to happen. So that would have helped a lot. But again, that's what I'm just complaining for complaint, right? I have nothing.
Even then, if you can't even promise anything, don't even show every box. Like, just add the boxes each time a new one is revealed.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Exactly. I don't know. That's a good way to end this thing.
I don't know.
Is there any final things or anything else you want to add for the 25th? I'm just looking forward to what else they have in store for us. And I'm not expecting anything else anymore. I destroyed myself with February and I'm good. I'm good for what's to come. I really am. That Midnight Channel collection thing, yeah. That's all on me. It really is. So, and I'll take the L. I really will. But for what's to come, I'm with you now. I'm right there on the grass, sipping water, and I'm waiting. I'm just wait and see. That's where I'm at.
Exactly. Listen, like, I'm an easily satisfied person. We can just sit there and wait. And if there's fireworks, there's fireworks. And if there's not, it's a nice sky.
That's where we're at. Hey, Ozzy, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We made it work. That was a fun time. Thank you so much, you guys that watched the thing until the end. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Make sure to check out Oziach. Link to his Twitter and YouTube down in the description below. Check out great Persona content, especially on YouTube. I know you have some great things coming too, so you should all look forward to that.
See you guys.
Thank you for joining me, man. See you next time, guys. Bye.